Everyone say hi to YouTube. We're doing another tier list. This one is going to be just a classic tier list, okay? There's nothing special to it. It's just a classic tier list. We're going to be talking about where I think every character in Rivals 2 lands before before we get into Evo. I feel like a lot of people are probably curious about like what the meta looks like going into Evo. And there's probably some new viewers wondering what the tier list looks like. So we're gonna go through, talk a little bit about every character. This video is kind of gonna be aimed at people who maybe aren't familiar with the characters or what they do or why they're strong. And so then we're gonna go through one at a time. We'll rank these characters before Evo. I imagine after Evo, there's going to be probably I would imagine a significant balance patch just because there hasn't been one in a while. And so this will change drastically post Evo, especially with a new character being added in August, I think. So prepare for all of that, and also this is kind of what the game looks like right now. Enough preamble. If you're curious about the tiers, this is top tier, this is high tier, this is high tier minus, and this is mid tier. we gave them names based on some banging video game tracks that you may or may not have heard of, and because every character in this game is good, every single song on this list is good. Okay, lock in. Zetterburn, positioned easily, I think at least, to be one of the best characters in the game. Zetterburn has been strong since the game came out, like very strong. Shine, still one of the best cool tools in the game for maintaining pressure, and things like Fireball. Zetterburns have learned how to combo Fireball into Fair off stage for even earlier kills. Forward air and down air are safe on shield that allows you to get pressure going. Zetterburns will swear up and down that his grab game is bad, but what some Zetterburns have started doing, and they don't want to tell you this, they don't want you to know this. If you're on fire, Zetterburn can down throw you, and if you DI in, you get upstronged. But if you're on fire around 70 or 80, depending on the character, he can up throw you. And if you DI in, you now get upstronged after an up throw. They don't want you to know that one. They don't want you to know that one, man. I think it only works. The fire changes how early his up smash kills. So this DI out does what? Like it ends up being a mix up. The truth come out. If you go watch Sophie play against Beastly at Battle of BC, you'll see it happen a couple of times where Beastly DIs what is like, yeah, Beastly DIs what is supposed to be correct and then ends up getting hit with an upstrong after a grab. Or you just miss the DI. I don't know. One of those things happened, but Beastly will tell you to your face that you should never miss the DI. And then he does. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with all of that. That being said, Zetterburn, solid character, decent throw game, able to set up tech chases very, very easily. Down air is one of the best moves in the game. Shine is one of the best pressure tools in the game, and his recovery, because everyone else's recovery has kind of been nerfed stepwise over a period of time. Zetterburn actually has one of the better recoveries in the game as well, which is crazy. We're gonna go up next to Rano. I think Rano's a very good character. I think Rano has a couple of like pretty clear problems, and we're gonna have to see if we want Rano up here, here, or here. As the tier list goes on, we'll shake it out a little bit. What Rano does well, obviously, he has like really great ground speed. He has really great he has a really great grab game. Needle is a really good projectile, and then like back air and fair make him really threatening off stage. The problem with Rano ends up being that his airspeed is so bad It actually shows up as like a relevant weakness. And what I mean by that is when characters hit you in the air in Rivals 2, oftentimes it doesn't matter, right? If you hit Forsberg into the air, you're going to get your true combo, but you're often not sharking him for more damage. Rano, you actually can. And if you get Rano caught in the air without a jump, he just has like nothing he can do to actually like meaningfully challenge you on the way down. Especially since down air got nerfed. So he does have like a particular weakness in that it makes it hard for him to approach meaningfully sometimes because it can mean putting himself in the air where he's not good to try and get some of his better moves out, which are his aerials. Um, and then his recovery is also like it's decent, but it's not great. Uh, and you will see it get stuffed out, especially at a top level. So what ends up happening is a lot of randos do very well into like top 64. And at Evo, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of Ranos in top 64. What happens at every tournament, though, is those Ranos in top 64 don't convert that into a top 8 placement. And I think part of the reason is as you go higher in level, people have the counterplay a little bit more down and understand what Rano's weaknesses are a little bit more meaningfully. Um, and it kind of gatekeeps the character from reaching that like top 8 level, especially at the major tournaments. We haven't seen one in a very long time. So I think Rano's good, but I think he's clearly weaker than a character like Zetterburn. Rast, that's Craig. Raster. We're gonna put Raster here or here. Again, we're gonna figure it out once we more meaningfully look into a once we get a more meaningful look at what everyone looks like. Raster, though, the kind of issue with him is, first of all, he's super light. Being a light character in this game, especially one as light as Raster, really sucks. Especially when characters like Zetterburn are the ones, and like Claren are the characters you're going to be running into at a high level. This character just gets blown the fuck up by them. He dies so early. Like even Toronto, Craig, Fleet, he just dies so early. The other aspect of it is his recovery is kind of bad. There's a lot of characters that can checkmate his recovery in a way that other people can't. Or in a way that other recoveries don't get checkmated. And so it leaves him in a vulnerable position off stage where he can die early. On stage, he can die early. You can floor hug all of his moves at 0. He doesn't have the best confirms off of grab. And so he has to play this like really weird neutral until he gets you to like 40. And then he's just trying to 0 to death you. And he's not a good enough 0 to death simulator that I think it moves him out of this tier. That being said, some of the more creative Raster players like Dakpo, like Torna, do get results because they're like very smart players. They're able to push his advantages very far. And so you won't see Raster do like just horribly across the board. But the Rasters who do well are the ones who have like a very particular punish game. And it's not easy to have on this character, if I'm being honest, and there's a lot of room for him to just die and lose. Craig. I think Craig is very good still. I've seen people putting Craig pretty low on the tier list, and all I can say to that is I'm just excited to to watch Zeus and Ion just bonk your shit. His character's still very strong. I think a character with Craig Nair, Fair, Bear, Dare, like Craig's aerials are just ridiculous across the board. Rock is ridiculous across the board. His recovery got nerfed significantly, but it's still okay. It's not like horrendously bad. He's got good mix-ups off throw, like really early kill potential, and a ton of setups to work around. ZB is another player who's going to do well. I think those three players, like Zeus, ZB, and Ion, have not attended a tournament since Genesis. And so I think people just forgot and assumed that he didn't do that shit anymore. When he does. That being said, he's not up here anymore. Like, Craig was the best character in the game for a while. He's not up there anymore. He does have a weakness in his recovery. There are ways to play around rock. Like it takes a little bit longer to pull out. So there's ways to play around him now that there. It feels like there wasn't before, and he's still very very good. Especially the kinds of Craigs who are looking to cheese you, have the combos down, know what they're doing with neutral B. Like it just opens a. It opens a lot of doors for Craig. Fleet. I did have Fleet as the best character in the game in the last tier list, and I think you could still very reasonably put her there. That being said, it's really close. It's really close. I think we're gonna see more Zetterburns than we're gonna see Fleets. But I don't know if that has anything to do with Fleet or Zetterburn. These characters are interchangeable, okay? You're going to see one above the other on the tier list, and I think I'm going to put it as Zetterburn just because there's more of them. But it's really close. I think they're interchangeable. Fleet is like an unstoppable menace, bro. She is strong on stage. She has great mix-up with float. She has great buttons with neutral air. She effectively has a sword. She kills you super early off stage with stuff like Fair Nair. She has good setups with the arrow. I mean, Zetter doesn't have many weaknesses either. Is the thing. She can kill you off the top with like up air, up strong. She has good mix-ups with side B and down B. Fleet's like notable weakness is her recovery is a little bit weak. Because her side B doesn't send her anywhere. And so if you know the pattern for playing around her side B off stage, her up B is not the best recovery tool of all time. Especially if you've used float. So her recovery can show up as a weakness. But other than that, she doesn't have a super meaningful one other than being like kind of slow, but she's really not even that slow. So Fleet is very, very good. Zetterburn also very, very good. These are two characters to look out for. They will do well. Maple kind of sucks. And I know I could be setting myself up to get dunked on when Plup beats a bunch of people with Maple, and I don't care. I don't care, okay? Plup could beat a bunch of people with a box of scraps in a cave. Plup also thinks Maple sucks, but my opinion is independent of that. She doesn't do enough. And you go like, oh, she's the fastest character in the game. Yeah. And like, she doesn't have any like really threatening buttons, man. Like, Maple has to play like a lot. She has to play a significantly more honest neutral than almost every character in the game. And it's to the point where it's detrimental for sure. Where you're trying to come in with like Nair or F tilt or grab, but all of those just net you like one hit combos. So then you're trying to call out jumps with an up air or a dash attack. But then if somebody just waits, you get owned, and then your recovery got nerfed. So you're like quite vulnerable off stage. She just doesn't do enough, man. She's too prone to getting cheesed. Her combos are not large enough. They're not easy enough to get access to, and her neutral, like she doesn't have a good approach tool. She can't approach you. So what does she do with all the speed? She just has to camp. And if you're trying to camp, heads up, those characters are pretty fucking good at it. Unless Plup plays Maple, you are not going to see a Maple in top 16. At least a solo Maple. You might see Elky's co-main Maple and make it to top 16. Or even top 32. But you are very unlikely to see multiple representatives of Maple entering top 32 and especially top 16. Unless Plup is playing her. So this character, what is Maple good at? Like Maple's not unplayably bad is the thing. She is good at edge guarding. Maple can go very deep off stage, especially when she has opportunities to set up Terry. Her like double jump up air gets her a bunch of extra height, and then she can do it again after a wall jump. She has Fair, which is a great move for spiking off stage. She has Nair, which has a lot of coverage off stage. FPZ is seeded top 24. I don't think he's gonna make top 24. If like, not to be a hater, but like, if FPZ makes top 24, I will be surprised. And FPZ is good, but there's a lot of good people at Evo, and I don't know if I believe that a Maple's gonna be able to do it. It's possible, and I could eat my words, and FPZ can give me the middle finger. And this is not like to throw shade at FPZ, but I have doubts. This character is really hard to play right now. I would be more confident in Torna making top 16 than FPZ for sure. And those are like the top reps of the characters right now. Okay. Yeah, Maple's very good off stage, so she does have like something that she can do. It just doesn't often feel like enough, if I'm being super honest. Okay, you're gonna see tier lists with Claren down here. And it's like genuinely some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, I can't even rationalize it. I can't even rationalize it in my head. I feel like I want to be generous to the people who are doing that, but like all I can do is just be like, you're not playing the game. Like, I don't know what you are thinking. You just don't know what you're talking about. Claren is the most represented character in the top 50 ranking. If your tier list has Claren at the very top, it isn't a top level tier list. Ferrari, you're just wrong. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. If you care at all about what character is going to place well in a bracket, Claren is obviously going to place well in a bracket. So, like, Claren has the most representatives in top 50. Claren has some of the most representatives in the Evo top 64 seeding. Claren has consistently seen representatives make top 16s and top 8s all year, despite receiving a number of nerfs and buffs, but mostly nerfs. But characters have been nerfed around her as well. So this is a character who I think I would not be surprised at all to see in the top 8. Is Rongunshu going to Evo? If Rongunshu's going to Evo, this character will be in the top 8. Like, there's just not really... I have very, very, very few doubts that Rongunshu would fail to make top 8 at Evo. That being said, there are a ton of other representatives of this character that could make top 32 and make upsets to get top 16 at Evo. We got like Landon, Vibe, Sly, all players that could make top 16. This could be, if the bracket goes properly, the most represented character in top 16. And so if you're going to look at me through all of that and say, yeah, Claren's fucking mid tier, you've lost your fucking mind. Like, I'm actually tired of it. We just don't need to do it. And then, so what is Claren good at? Claren has like just some of the best normals in the game. She's insanely good at walling you out. Her combo game is ridiculous. Certain characters struggle to edgeguard her. Other characters edgeguard her quite easily, and that can show up as a weakness. And she doesn't have a super fast button, like out of disadvantage, so she can get like comboed pretty heavily. Versus like in some matchups, and some matchups she can get comboed heavily and edgeguarded. That being said, she has some of the strongest neutral in the game. She has some of the most consistent neutral in the game. And she has one of the strongest punish games in the game by a fucking mile. Her punish game is so good at the top level. You will see this character do well. And you will have a Claren main in your ear. I will have a Claren main in your ear saying, this character is not good. All of the Claren mains are just really talented. And you can kick them in the shins. Because they're fucking coping. Okay? It's fine. They're allowed to cope, but they're fucking coping. Okay. Loxodon is another very good character right now. How good is he? He's definitely top tier. And you might be wondering, because you might have looked at another tier list and been like, wow, guys, like, when did Loxodon get this good? What happened? Did he get buffed? And he didn't get buffed. But a lot of characters got nerfed around him while he didn't get many significant nerfs. And he still has, much like Claren, like one of the stupidest advantage states in the game. He is so consistently able to just own you for hitting you with a giant normal that it almost offsets his weaknesses. It's really crazy. Yeah, it's really crazy. He is very strong in that regard. His recovery is decent. I think a long time people were saying like that's a clear weakness. And I think it's not as much unless you're playing against like Rano, and even then, it's still like can be doable. He's got early kill confirms. He's got checkmate setups. He's got like gimmick setups with down B. Down B helps him get back to the stage a ton. Jab is like in the running for best move in the game. Dash attack, up strong, like neutral air, forward air, back air, up tilt. Every move is good. You will see again. Stango is going to make top 8 with this character. There's no doubt. Stango might win the tournament with this character. And Loxodon has been a character that is like pretty representative in top 64s. He does have the Rano problem, or at least had the Rano problem, where he didn't have a representative for a long time. Getting him into the top 8s, but Stango is now winning tournaments over players like Kakasalt with this character. He's very strong at this point in the game. Okay, Orcane. This is going to piss some people off. And if I'm being honest, I don't know if I really care. I don't know if I really care. There is a mafia out there right now. Okay? Watch yourself. Who will tell you that this character is incredible. That this character is like here. Okay? There's people out there. There are people out there that will say that. And that's not to say Orcane is bad, right? But Orcane is not this fucking good, bro. Like, relax. Sasmin, you can't say that. It's still Pride Month. Orcane has a lot of good things going for him. He's very fast. He's very slippery. His tilts are all really good. Like, have great utility. He's got decent combos. Nair is a fast button. He's good off stage so long as he has puddle. He can go really deep for edge guards. Those are all great things. And at the same time, he does not have the combo game that Claren has, or that Zetterburn has, or that Fleet has. Fleet and Loxodon can go just as deep off stage as Orcane can, and do just as stupid stuff that actually kills earlier. He's fast, but there's a lot of ways to play around down tilt now since they nerfed it. There's a lot of ways to play around up tilt now since they nerfed it. Like, both those moves got nerfed. His grabs are pretty good, but like so are fucking everyone's. And his recovery, when he has puddle is like very strong. Again, you're not going to see me disagree. But side B made his recovery worse. For those of you that don't know, Orcane's side B got a rework a couple of patches ago, and it made his recovery worse. And then, after it made his recovery worse, they also went and nerfed the side B. And so, after they nerfed the side B, it also lost a lot of its utility. Where it had some situations where it killed very early and you could like commit off stage with the side B, and now there's a few situations where it's worth going for side B for sure, but it's super niche compared to the other things this character can do, to the point where like it's opened up a couple of new opportunities, but like not nearly enough to offset the difference in how much worse it makes his recovery. So he got nerfed again. He's a good character. At Evo, you will not see one unless Plup plays Arcane. You will not see one in I even top 32 is pushing it. You might not see one in top 32. You for sure won't see one in top 16. It's tough. It's tough, man. Jupiter? Is Jupiter there? Okay, Jupiter might make top 16. Beastly's Arcane is ass. I saw it at Battle of BC. It's not good. It's not real. Beastly's Arcane is not a real thing. It's going to be like his Olympia where he busts it out and gets owned. Jupiter might make top 16. So you might see Arcane in top 16. Even in top bracket. Just you have to trust me. You have to trust me. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Yeah. So you might see one get top 16. Jupiter will definitely have to fight for it. It'll be hard. But you might see him. And I think this is a great placement to this is a great placement for a character that you could see in top 16. Jupiter making top 8, especially over these characters, is wildly unlikely. Even over Craig is wildly unlikely. And it's not just about placements, obviously. Like, we've talked a lot about placements. Obviously, how good the character is matters. And sometimes the players don't, like, fully showcase what that is. But Arcane does not do things that these characters can't, like, meaningfully. He doesn't have like large enough strengths for it to matter. Where his only like defining thing over these characters is how fast he is, and even that like it doesn't really matter. Forsberg is going to be the last. I don't know if I shouldn't say the last, but he is going to be in the top tier as well. Forsberg's quite good. The issue is Forsberg is also like very hard. And so if we're seeing people play Forsberg, like there's going to be a Forsberg in top 8 and it's going to be Cake Assault. Is Cake Assault also going to play Fleet? Maybe into Craig. We'll see. But he will make top 8 with Forsberg. Plup might also play Forsberg and will like undoubtedly be top 8 if not just win the tournament. So this is a character you're going to see at the like tippy top level. That being said, it is a character who will not have representation at the like mid-level. You might see 1 or 2 Forsbergs in top 64, but you're not going to see very many. Coyote, do you know who Plup is planning to play at Evo? You're not going to see very many Forsbergs at all at Evo. And it speaks a little bit to the difficulty of the character, but again, at that top level, he definitely can do it. There's a reason he's not up here, but I think it's undeniable to talk about a character who can win the tournament and not put him higher. Daedalus Arcane Slade. Interesting. Plup's Daedalus is really good. I've played it a couple times. It's really good. Going all in the water boys. I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he played Lorena as well. I know Plup likes Lorena, and Lorena's in a good spot right now. Daedalus. I would have him here. Daedalus is a character that is very strong. Don't get me wrong. Daedalus is very good. As are all the characters in this game. But Daedalus feels like he is very feast or famine, where he either has matchups where he does really well, where he thinks like where Edelus does very well, or he has matchups where he gets fucking destroyed. And he's not a real character. And nobody up here has that problem. Nobody up here has that problem. And so the fact that you potentially, based on your bracket, this is a character that could end up in top 16. But unlike these characters, there's bracket luck involved with that. Where if Edelus plays a top Clarion rep, he's not winning. Which sucks. That's unfortunate. But if he plays like a top Forsburn rep or a top whatever rep, he's positioned for an upset. So he's a character that has some pretty high highs, some pretty low lows. Obviously, his advantage state is crazy good. His offstage game is crazy good. Unfortunately, his recovery is in the lower end of the cast, and some characters really destroy it. And depending on the matchup, his neutral is oppressive or like not a thing. So he's one of those characters that I feel like just because of the inconsistency, I can't put him as high. But if there's an Edelus like Adam or Animal, or Full Stream who's going to be there, absolutely they can make top 16 given the right bracket. It's just going to depend who they run into and how they're playing that way. Yeah. So you're going to have to watch out for that. This character sucks. Okay? You guys, I can't emphasize this more than I am emphasizing it right now. I believe, and you can take this to the bank. I believe that Olympia is the worst character in Rivals 2 right now. She gets fucking boomed. Boomed by almost every character in the game. She's worse than Slade. I 100% think so. She gets boomed, man. Every character in this game has some unique horseshit kill confirm against Olympia. Every single character in the game. Dude, yeah. Every character gets some like horseshit confirm on her. She's got nerfed 1,000 times. She was balanced. She was probably here on the tier list, and they nerfed her again. Ugh. They nerfed her airspeed. They nerfed her down B. They nerfed her up B. They nerfed all of her tilts, every single one. They nerfed her nair. They nerfed her up air. They nerfed her up throw. They nerfed her side B. They nerfed every single thing. They nerfed her airspeed, which is a huge nerf. That's a nerf to every single aspect of her gameplay. And so her combos below average. Her recovery below average. Her disadvantage potentially the worst in the game. Her neutral below average, because down tilt is the stubbiest move in the entire fucking game now. Everything she does is below average. The only thing she does that is kind of good is she has a lot of moves that are safe on shield. That's all she does. She has a lot of moves that are safe on shield, which means if you shield against her, she can do some mix-ups. She does that, I would say, above average. But the reward she gets from doing that, the combo she gets from doing that, everything else she's trying to do is below average. This is the worst character in the game right now. You may see an Olympia in top 64. You may see Terry. That being said, that's not even a guarantee. If Sandstorm decides to play Olympia, you will see an Olympia co-main make top 64. Beastly may also play Olympia in top 64 as a secondary. But almost every single person who mained Olympia either dropped Olympia entirely or decided to make her like a co-main. And so Even players like Sandstorm, who's like the Olympia player, is now also playing Galvin because Olympia is so bad into some matchups and so inconsistent. And that is not to say that Olympia can't do it, right? I fully believe that a great Olympia player could make top 16. They could, but you would be working so fucking hard. You have to play so much neutral. You have to play it so cleanly. And you have to hope that when these characters breathe on you, that you don't just fucking die. um so she's bad. Is what I'm trying to say. And she's not unplayably bad. Like I said, at the very start of this tier list, every character in the game is good. Every character in the game can make top 64. Every character in the game can make potentially top 16, although some would be harder than others. Every character is good. But of all of the good characters, this is, I think, clearly the worst one. We move. We move. Absa. Absa's hard. I think Absa is potentially the hardest character in the game to rank because she's really hard to rank. Because we have a potential of seeing an Absa in top 8, which is Ant. And then the other Absas, they do well, and I can see some of them making top 64, but they're not even going to sniff at top 8. And so her peak is higher than these two characters, but the average is definitely lower. I think I want to have her up here. Just because I think Ant is demonstrating like what the character can do and what some of like the craziness is. The way that Ant controls the character, the way that he pushes the advantage state makes her look unfair at times. And she has a ton of creativity insofar as how you can innovate on her pressure, and how she plays neutral, which I really like in a character. And she's harder than every character above her, other than maybe Forsburn. And she's very light, which means that she has that like inconsistency factor that Raster does, where sometimes you just get owned and you just die at like 0 and it sucks. But I feel like I can't, in good faith, put her lower than this, if I'm being honest. I'm going to have her here. Galvin. Another character who I think is like decent. Oh, man. You know what? I might actually change something. I have to think about it. I'm going to do that. After looking at it, I'm going to do it like that. I think Galvin is decent. Galvin's advantage state, much like Edelus, is very, very strong. Once Galvin hits you with an up air, he can take you the distance. Once Galvin gets you to the ledge, he has some of the best ledge guarding in the game. Some of the most consistent ledge guarding in the game. Magnet is a great tool for opening up neutral, especially if you're able to be tricky with it. All of his aerials are solid. He's just got very good buttons across the board. The issue is Galvin is pretty slow. He doesn't have a super meaningful approach option. And he is super easy for a lot of the better characters to stuff off stage. And again, it's just a clear weakness that some of these characters don't have. And so I think you're going to see him struggle a little bit because of that. You know, I might actually do this. I think you're going to see him struggle a little bit because of that. That being said, you know what? No, I'm not. Fuck it. I just had an argument with myself inside my head. Yeah, Galvin's got certain things he's really good at. Mystery Soul is going to make a run with Galvin. Sandstorm is probably going to make a run with Galvin. So you will see some Galvin in top 64. Guaranteed. It's guaranteed. You're going to see Galvins in top 64. And both those people are potentially secondary in Galvin, only using him for specific matchups. And trying to avoid like the real difficult shit that kind of comes with playing Galvin. So I think the character's good. Like I said, he will show up in top 64, but some of those weaknesses stand out just a little too much, at least in my opinion. to the point where I think a solo Galvin is making like top 8 or something like that. I really, really significantly doubt it. Lorena, this is an interesting one. Do I put her here? Do I put her here? Do we think she's better than Craig? Do we think she's worse than Craig? She might be better than Craig. This character's very strong right now. And I'm trying to figure out how strong I think that she is. Put her up top? I'm not doing that. She's not that strong. She's really competitive with where Craig is right now. And I think I'll probably... She's stronger than Craig for sure. But Craig... But is she? Because, like, Craig's more likely to show up in top 8. But I guess maybe you just argued that the Craig reps are stronger? Because if you have Ion, ZB, and Zeus at a tournament, like a Crag is probably making top 8. Whereas if you have Elkies, Corn Cycle, and Cheesy at a tournament, Lorena could make top 8, but I think you'd be surprised. I think she's probably better than Crag. And the reason I'm going to put her as better than Crag is Lorena has a lot of like quality of life stuff going on. That makes her feel really good. Her aerials being able to beat floor hug, specifically back air, down air, beating floor hug feels amazing. Upstrong being able to catch people shielding on the platform feels amazing. Having checkmate setups on people who don't know how to DI feels amazing. The fact that you can't tech her back air on the wall is broken. And Chair is incredibly good as both a positioning tool and a zoning tool that opens up those like big punish grabs. Nair is also like an insanely strong move both on and off stage, rising and hit fold. Like the move does a lot. Fair has good kill potential. She's got kill throws. Side B sets up for like incredible stuff off stage. Like Lorena is just very, very strong. She has probably the best. She has, at the least, she's competing for best advantage state in the game with these characters. Like it's very comparable, and you could argue hers is the best. And I don't think anyone would call you too crazy. Her advantage state is very good. She also has like decent enough neutral. Fair is a move that does a lot for you in neutral. F tilt, a good poke in neutral. Down tilt out of floor hug is like a generational move. Probably the best down tilt in the game. The issue is, she got her recovery nerfed. And so her recovery now is like a notable weak point. It's a more notable weak point than I think any of these characters have. And that's not to say her recovery is bad, because it's not. But it's not good. Especially against characters that can go out and stuff it, which pretty much everyone here can. You just have to be confident enough to do so. So she does have some like notably tougher matchups. Orcane, Rano, Fleet can be hard. The characters that can go really deep off stage can give her a hard time. So she has some like unique weaknesses in that regard, but her punish game is so good that it really doesn't matter that much. And something that really helps Lorena is some of Lorena's toughest matchups, like Absa and Raster, one, are extremely uncommon. You are not very likely to run into either of these characters. And two, these are the lightest characters in the game. So even if you're getting owned for 99% of the match, if you hit Absa with Upstrong, she is dying at 70. It's just like, you just need to be right a couple of times. And I think that makes her a really, really incredible bracket character. Elkies and Cheesy Potato will do well at Evo with this character. If Corn Cycle was there, he would do well. If I was there, I would do well. I don't know if Pikmon is there, but he'll also do well. There are a lot of notable Lorenas, and they will all like make top 64. I'm almost certain. Lorena's in a really good spot right now. This is a character where I think Olympia was right here when she got nerfed. I think Olympia was in the exact same position that Lorena is in right now before she got nerfed. And I am pleading with the devs to not make Lorena unplayable. Please do not nerf the tits off this character. You can make back air techable. Make back air techable and make side B down easier to tech. Do both of those things. Both of those things are horseshit. Then leave her. Then leave her. Please. I'm truly begging. Please. Leave her. Whatharum? I disagree. She's allowed like let a character be good. Is I guess what I'm trying to say. Is she good right now? Yes. Could you nerf her and could she be right here? Yes. But like why? Just let her be good. She's fun. She's the only character in the game right now that approaches you. She's the only character in the game that runs at you right now. We don't need to nerf that. Please, man. She is fair. So many characters in this game kill you at 55. I can't do this right now. I can't do this right now. Do you know how many characters kill you at 55? I'm looking at them. I'm looking at them. I'm looking at them, baby. All of these characters are capable of killing you at 50. All of them. Every character in this game can kill you at 50. We need to relax. We need to relax. She is fair. And if you are dying at 50 consistently, it's your fault. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Lorena has a lot of counterplay. The reason Lorena's good is because people don't know what it is. One of the reasons Lorena really pisses people off is because they don't want to learn. And I will agree. Lorena is the hardest matchup check in the game. By far. Lorena will matchup check the shit out of you. If you don't know how to play against Lorena and you're against the top Lorena, you have no chance. She's here. If you don't know what Lorena does or how to get out of it and you're playing against a good Lorena, she's the best character in the game. Easily. It's not even close. But that, I don't think, is a bad thing. I think, as the player, you should have to learn. I think that you should have to learn how to deal with it. And then you'll be okay. And then you'll be okay more often than not. There are some times where she just kills you, but there are some times where all of these characters just kill you. It happens. If you added SDI and made all of her shit kill later, she would, like, she's down to here. And then what are we doing? Like, why? Why did we do that? She's the most, like, she's the only character in the game that approaches. Don't nerf her. You nerf the stupid things. Again, back air, make it techable. Side B down, make it easier to tech. You should do both of those things, because those things are stupid right now. You can leave the rest. You can leave the rest. She has a tangible weakness in her offstage game. Her neutral, while strong, isn't like incredible and oppressive. And her advantage state is really good, as a grappler should be. Just let her have it. We can let characters be good. We don't have to nerf everything that we don't understand and that we don't like. I've seen Cheesy hard camp with Chair. You can hard camp with anyone. Um, yeah. I hate to say it. You can camp with anyone. There's a difference between the characters that have to camp and the characters that choose to camp. And I would like to at least have a couple characters that don't have to camp. This character has 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 to camp. This character can kind of approach. This character has to camp. 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 This character has to camp, and this character can approach. Kind of. We've had a lot of discussion about Lorena. We're gonna move on. It is my opinion that Lorena has a couple stupid things that you should nerf. Side B down, back air tech should be nerfed. Other than that, please just let her be a good character. She's fun to watch. She's fun to play. In my opinion, she's fun to play against. And she finally feels like a character that can actually compete, unlike these fucks who are just stuck down here. Okay, moving on. The last character, Slade. This might be a hot take, might not be a hot take. I think Slade is better than Maple and Olympia. How much better? Not much. But I think that he is. Slade has some really good things going for him. Downstrong plays the first half of the stock for him. Being able to crouch cancel Downstrong is consistently very strong. It's just useful. It's handy. It's very good. Downstrong can go into Downstrong. Downstrong can go into other moves. Downstrong can set up the platform. Then you get an Upstrong. All good things. Slade is also okay at camping. The items allow him to camp. If you're glide tossing, it gives you some movement options, which can open up like unique ways to move around the stage, which can get you more down smashes, which is sick. His grabs are pretty good, if I'm being honest. I like Slade's grab game a lot. Nair is a great keep out tool. Up tilt and Upstrong are great keep out tools. The problem is Slade, I think, has the worst approach game in Rivals 2. This character has almost nothing that he can do to approach you. So he just has to camp, which is lame and not fun to play against. But it can work. If you get the teardrop, you can beat floor hug. Around 60, the boomerang starts knocking down, which makes the boomerang way better. You can mix grabs into there. You can try and find kills. He does a decent amount of stuff off stage, whether it be like throwing out the chest or a weak nair or a reverse up B. Those are all good things that Slade has off stage. Slade's problem, his kill power is bad. Compared to everyone else in the cast, Slade's kill power is underwhelming because unless he manages to somehow find like a dash tag down air at the exact right percent or some like up B cheese, he's not killing you early at all. His kill power is weak relatively. It's not bad. Again, it's not like unplayable. He doesn't kill so late that he's horrible, but it is later than a lot of characters. It doesn't often feel like you can cheese people as Slade. Number 2, being behind as Slade makes the game feel unwinnable. If you lose a stock early, like if you get 0 to death as Slade, it almost feels like you should just go to the next game. Because it fucks his economy so hard that coming back just feels like it's not a thing. Number 3, his recovery is, I would say, the worst in the game. His recovery is really bad. If you get wing, his recovery becomes good. But if you want to get wing, you can't buy items, which is what allows him to play neutral with any degree of consistency. So you are really fighting against the status quo with this character, trying to determine if you can go for wing, if you can go for items, if you can go for whatever. Um, which is really tough when you have the characters up here that just basically like have wing automatically. At least it feels like it. And so because Slade has an economy attached to a lot of his best options, it means a lot of his best options are not like always readily available, which makes him worse than the characters who are just like if Slade had wing from the start of the game, he would be here, maybe, maybe here, here. If he had wing from the start of the game, you could argue he'd be up here. Um, but he wouldn't be higher than this. So the fact that you have to save money and not use your other good moves to save for an upgrade that brings you to here, that's not even better than other characters start. It's just like it feels bad. Um but he does have some stuff that he's good at. I want to like put some respect on Slade. The run speed buff that he got has helped significantly. He's over here without the run speed buff. It's just not even a question. So the run speed buff made him competitive with these characters, and in my opinion, a little bit better because he's able to camp you. He's able to do that semi-effectively. And as people are pushing the punish game and tech situations and different things like that, he's able to push his advantage a little bit further. That being said, the only Slade at Evo that might make top 64 is Hyperflame, if Hyperflame even plays Slade. Otherwise, there are, I believe, no other Slade representatives at Evo. And even if every single Slade representative was at Evo, Zack and Lone, if Zack and Lone play solo Slade, like they're not making top 64. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Top 64 is so stacked. And if they play solo Slade, they're not making it. But they're there. Oh, okay. Even if every top Slade was there, like if me, Hyperflame, and what's his face? Chicken. Joaquin. Those are like and Iota. Those are the 4 best Slades right now. In terms of like actual results. If all of us were there and only played solo Slade, oh, and average Alex. I forgot Alex. Alex is probably the best one, if I'm being honest. Alex probably has the best results of all of us. We still might not make top 64. So that's the context. The other difficulty is Slade is hard. He demands a lot from you in terms of like patient and management and execution that almost every other character does not. So that's another thing that it makes him a harder bracket character. Alex not going to Evo, and like if he was going to Evo, would he play Slade? We will probably see several Maples in top 64 though. I don't know if we will. That's the problem. I don't know if we will. Like FPZ, potentially. Like FPZ, probably. And then maybe Elky's secondary Maple. And then, like, who else? Prozy's going, but he might not make top 64. He always swaps when he's about to lose. That's not a good sign. If one of the best Slade players plays Slade until he's about to lose and then switches to a different character, that is not a good sign. That's not a good sign. It's not good. That being said, this is how I feel about the tier list as it stands. I don't think anything about this is too crazy. I don't think anything about this is too controversial. I know some people are to think Claren's too high, maybe Lockston's too high, maybe Orkane's not high enough, maybe Craig's too high, maybe Edalus not high enough, Slade's too high, whatever, right? Olympia too low. People are gonna have like little nitpicky bits about their placements. No tier list is gonna satisfy everyone, for lack of a better word. But I think this tier list is going to be representative of how good these characters are going into Evo. And the discussion we had around all of them about what I think their placements would be and how I think they are going to perform, I think will be reflected quite well by this tier list, if I'm being like really honest. Um, that being said, if you have any questions, any comments about the tier list, please leave a comment. I can reply to those. Why not? Why the hell not? And until next time, enjoy Evo. I'm very excited. And I will see you guys then.